Douglas Prager. Without these sponsors, this broadcast would not be possible.
Going with the whites, huh?
10 seconds.
Maybe they're saving a good play for Monday. And welcome to live basketball action here from the Stroud Gymnasium, where the University of Montana Western Bulldogs will be taking on the Lewis Clark State Warriors. Warriors came into our building just a couple weeks ago and beat us here at home. What do you think will change up to make this more advantage for ourselves?
I think on the offensive end, this Montana Western team, they've been ready for the 2-3 zone. The LC State Warriors have a very unique 2-3 zone where they use those outside edges and they bring them up real high, and they also take away the high post area. So I think that Montana Western has really put an emphasis on that, and if they can score on the offensive end, then it should be a good game for Western.
Well, and I think they got to keep the ball out of the hands of Abby Johnson. She really did a lot, even more than the stat showed, and she had a really good stat game, but she did a lot that you can't even just put into stats alone. Handled the ball up top, was a good passer. They passed from big to big with Blackman and Johnson. They had a lot of size they brought in and really kind of used it that way with Turner and Johnson and Blackman. So I think we really got to tire them out. I think we're going to see a little bit more press. Maybe not right away here in the first. We'll see how the game plays out. But it's pretty exciting to watch playoff basketball in the Frontier.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it all day. Two high-powered teams, two great coaches. Thing I love about this, an 18-year coach, and you can see both of these coaches, the way they have their teams react to changes they make. It's really like a chess match. I know we say that all the time, but you can see it when you watch teams like this. They both have multiple defenses. It's really going to be an exciting game.
And here we go as Cooper will jump up against Turner. The jump is won by LC State. They bring it up and across the timeline with Moskrip. She gets it over to the right side to Berlin. Berlin look for an opening, gets it back out up top as they're using Johnson up top once again. Moskrip with the basketball to Berlin. Berlin over to the left side. Got a few too many steps, but great defense by Lamy. As the miss by Turner, it's turned back the other way. King gets right into the lane. She's wrapped up with the jump ball. It'll stay here with the Bulldogs.
And King on the break. If you're not back, she's going to try to attack the rim. Here, it looked like she was maybe trying to take the charge, got her hands on the ball with some contact. Looks like number 4, Hannah Berlin, down and definitely going to take a seat for a minute. Hope that she's okay.
I tell you what, she may only be 5'5", but she's vicious when she gets in the lane, and I mean it as just a competitor. She's so quick and versatile, and it looks like she's all in on attacking the basketball tonight already.
Yeah, and speed usually makes a difference when it comes to contact like that, increasing.
Lady Bulldogs to inbound. They get it up top to Lamy over to the left side to Anderson. Really like to see a big night out of Anderson as well as they get it to King. King looks over to the left side, but gets it back to Lamy. Lamy back to the right side to Anderson. She's picked up, gets to about the elbow, looking for an opening, gets it back up top to King with 9 on the shot clock. Back iron, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Blackman. She's going to hit the outlet to Moskrip. Moskrip's going to bring it up and across the timeline. They're setting up the offense a little more deliberately, at least at this point. They get it to the top to Turner. Turner's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's going to go down the right side, puts it up, no good. Rebound gets knocked around, knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Bulldogs, so it's going to be Warrior basketball. And once again, they're kind of using the Abby Johnson as the do-everything so far.
They're really using this dribble handoff, and they want to get to the rim off that. So
and they get it out up top as they get it into Souvenir's hands. Souvenir down the right side on attack mode, goes up right hand, up off the glass, and good for 2. And the Warriors are off to a 2-0 lead. Thank you for joining us out there in Idaho on KOZE AM 1490. As they get the ball to Cooper on the elbow. She gets it, kick out, goes out to Lamy. Lamy's going to get into the paint. She does a step around, up too strong, no good. Rebound this time pulled down by Turner. Turner's going to hit outlet as she gets to Souvenir. Souvenir's going to get some adjustment and bring it across the timeline. She goes down the left side and then back over to the left as she gets it into the hands of Moskrip. Moskrip gets to about free throw line. She gets to Blackman. Blackman back out to Moskrip. Moskrip to the free throw, back out to Souvenir. Souvenir over to the right side as they work it down low into the post to Whiteman. Blackman gets it back. Shots up and good by Turner on the left elbow.
And Haley
That's about
Turner.
a good 14, 16 footer.
Yeah, so tough when you see Turner and Blackman playing together. Turner leading the team in, looks like, blocks, and she can shoot the rock too.
Well, how do you defend a 16-footer by a 6'1" girl?
No kidding.
And the back out to Anderson. Anderson gets to about elbow, out to Lamy. Lamy for three. It's up and good. Huge shot by the Beaverhead County High School recruit, and so good to have her.
Got a little stagnant in the 2-3 zone. LC State in that open three. Lamy's going to knock that one down.
And there's the press I was talking about as they get it on the baseline. Shot goes up and good by Abby Johnson. And Abby Johnson just attacked the baseline and put it up. She's just such a mismatch. 6'2" sophomore, and just handles the basketball extremely well. Pass is good. Lamy with the kick out to King. King on the right side. She works it back over to the left side. Finds a little bit of an opening. Tries to force it down low to Cooper. It gets knocked away by the Warriors, so it'll stay here with the Bulldogs. Bulldogs trail 6-3 here in the first. 7:05 left in the first quarter on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. It goes out to Anderson. Anderson on the right side. She gets into about the elbow. A bounce pass to Lamy. Lamy with the kick out to Holmes. Holmes goes baseline, forces it into Cooper. Cooper too strong, but then Holmes is there on the spot to get the rebound, gets it back out up top to King. And there's something that's very helpful about offensive rebounds.
Yes, they just boost energy on your team.
Anderson gets a great give and go on the left side, puts it up, can't finish, but she is hacked in the act, so she'll go to the charity stripe. And then back to the offensive boards. It's just such a good, positive thing for you. You felt like, oh, a letdown because you missed, and then, oh, look, my teammates got me on the offensive board, and those help a ton. In and out, no good by Anderson. Really like to get her going early as well.
Yes, taking the pressure off the shoulders, the offensive rebound, giving your team another possession. I think any team would love to double the amount of possessions that they could get in the game.
So the shot's up and good. That'll make it 6-4 Warriors. Full court presentation once again as they're going to bring it up with Moscrip. She'll bring it across the timeline. She'll hand it off to Souvenir. Souvenir with the basketball, the 5'8" sophomore. And it seems as the game gets later, Souvenir is the one that handles most of the duty, whereas Moscrip hands it early. And they get it over to Johnson and back to Moscrip. Moscrip for three. Front iron no good. Rebound's going to be pulled out of there by Johnson. Johnson works it down low to Blackman. Blackman too strong with the left hand. Lamy with the rebound. She'll bring it up and across the timeline. She goes right into the paint, and they're going to call a block.
And Lamy slicing and dicing right there on the break, just trying to get to the rim. Actually was going to pass it off and got knocked over by Blackman, who tried to step in. And you saw Lamy got a little bit of room to step around the side of her. And if you give them that room, they're going to call it a block every single time.
And looking to inbound. As they get it back out up top, it's knocked away
What a
by
play.
Souvenir. And
Great
Souvenir's going to
hands.
bring it across the timeline. And that was a good heads-up play on Souvenir. Souvenir hands off to Moscrip. Moscrip over the left side working on King. 6-4 Warriors with the lead. 5:48 left here in the first quarter on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. Moscrip will work her way down the right side as she gets it into the corner to Johnson. Johnson with the kick out to try to work it down low. Stolen away by Britt Cooper. Cooper back the other way as she brings it to the left side to Anderson. Anderson into the paint, pulls and pops. Front iron, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled out of there by Johnson, who will lead the break. Gets it over to Souvenir. Souvenir buries the triple, and the Warriors jump out to a 9-4 advantage.
We haven't seen as many transition threes from this LC State team right there, though. Souvenir pulling without hesitation on the break. Great pass from Abby Johnson.
Well, it looked like Anderson had an open look and didn't want to pull on the last one. And this time around, we'll see if that changes. They get it to King. King gets into the paint, goes up, rims out, and the rebound's going to be pulled down by Blackman. Just a little too strong by King. But I like that she's being aggressive and getting to the hole early. It usually is about the second, typically, when she does that. And she's doing it early here. And so the foul is on Anderson. So with 4:48 left here in the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, LC State leads 9-4. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
When you're hungry, it's time to think Stage Line Pizza, the total pizza pleaser. Call 683-9004 for
Now he
taste-tempting,
tells me it's a
pizza-licious,
minute.
fantastic, incredibly delicious Stage Line Pizza. Home or office delivery starting at 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether it's lunch or dinner, Stage Line can deliver. Try one of their traditional
LC, they do not want to get into fast breaks.
Pizzas. Call today to find out about their nightly specials. Stage Line has dine-in, takeout, or all-day delivery. 683-9004.
And welcome back to live basketball action. Great accolades for this Western Bulldog team. Second in Division I in field goal percentage at 47%. 4 in Division I in scoring defense per game, and that's at 51. And that's actually went up a little bit. We were actually 2 not too long ago, so we're giving up a little more points. 4 in total rebounds defensively. Number 7 in three-point field goal percentage. Number 7 in assist to turnover ratio. We do a good job handling the rock. Already had a couple turnovers so far here in the first, so I'm sure that was kind of talked about. And also, I'm guessing, don't be afraid to shoot.
Yeah, you're playing against a 2-3 zone, and you got to attack from the wings, and don't be afraid to pull that 3 ball if you get an open look.
And the inbound goes all the way back out here to Johnson. Johnson back out up top. That was flirting with the inbounding call right there. Souvenir goes baseline. She's picked up by Bignell as she freshly checked in. Bignell for Anderson as it gets knocked away by Bignell, making her presence felt already. She goes down the right side. The kick out goes to Holmes. Holmes works back over to the left side, back to Bignell. Bignell into the paint, gets it knocked away. It's turned over into the hands of Moskrip. Moskrip brings it across the timeline, knocked away by Holmes, but then picked back up by LC State. LC State with the basketball in the hands of Callie Moskrip, the 5'8 senior out of Lewiston, Idaho.
LC State very deliberate on offense. They do not want fast breaks to become an often occurrence for Montana Western.
Moskrip up top to Blackman. Blackman puts up the shot just inside the three-point line. Tough to defend that. And the Warriors are up 11-4 with 3:53 left here in the first. So they'll bring it up and across the timeline. King fires up the 3. And big players play big in big moments, and that's a big moment right there. She knocks down the triple to pull the Lady Bulldogs within 4. They bring it up and across the timeline with Moskrip. They're going to hand it over to Johnson. Johnson gets it knocked away down low and then finally into the hands of Bree King, who brings it up, tries to step aside Souvenir. Souvenir kept that leg out, and I think they're going to get Souvenir for the foul.
Yep, just hitting her right at the hips as Bree King was going behind the back. Knocked her to the ground, and this LC State 2-3 zone is deadly. They have Blackman. She's running that middle position in the bottom, and she's taking out any high post action. You don't see that as much in other 2-3 zones.
Darby Shy and Bookout check in as he gets breathers to the 2 bigs. They're going to be huge in this game. Let's face it, Lamy and Britt Cooper. Shot goes up and back iron, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down there by Jocelyn Blackman. And Blackman, it's funny, Blackman's surrounded by a 6'2 and a 6'1, but she gets the best advantage the way she boxes out.
Yes, leads the team in rebounds 7.7 per game, and the team needs that.
That's cleaning the glass. And like you said, very deliberate as they work it around the perimeter. Looks like they have, they're more than happy to shoot that high post shot.
And that's where they've been doing their damage with these forwards. Haley Turner, Blackman also getting in on the action, that high post area, give them an open look, and they're going to knock it down.
And after that made bucket, it makes it 13-7 with the Warriors in the lead. There's a Bignell on the left elbow. She'll be wrapped up. It gets pulled out of there by Blackman. And then they get the ball over to Turner. Turner's going to get it to Johnson, and they'll bring it across the timeline with Kelly Moskrip and turn the ball over a little more than we usually do so far.
Yeah, right now defensively, LC State has the advantage. They are locking up.
Blackman with the basketball. She works down low. They're going to get Bignell on the reach in on Hannah Berlin. Berlin, the 5'11 sophomore guard. Just a lot of length on this Warriors team.
Yes, all up and down. It's pretty nice when you have a player like Turner leads your team in blocks, and Blackman, another forward who starts for you, leads your team in rebounding. So when you can have blocks, rebounds, so you got a rim protector and a rebounder, and then also let's not forget
checks in for Blackman.
Abby Johnson, who can do it all.
And we get our first look at Worcester tonight. She usually comes in and plays extremely well, so we're looking forward to that.
And Brandy Bookout knocked down on the inside of the key. Turner gets the offensive foul call, and She seems confused on even what the call was.
It's her second. That's a big loss for them if she has to sit for a reasonable amount of time. And they'll check in Jamie Nielsen, the 5'10 junior. But, you know, it looked a little floppish, but I liked it. I mean, obviously strategic, it worked.
I'm with you. I didn't see it, and I think that's kind of a tough call to make with the way that she was moving.
Look out for three, and it's good. She said, you can leave me alone if you like, and I'll make you pay.
Western 2 open threes right there at the top of the key already in this zone.
And they work it back over to Moskrip, who brings it across the timeline. They get it back out up top to Moskrip over to the left side as they work it into the hands of Nielsen and back over to the right side to Berlin. Berlin's going to get it in, gets it knocked away by Bree King. King's going to bring it and gets it taken away from her. Ball's wrapped up and finally stolen away by who else, of course, Johnson. Johnson gets to Nielsen. Nielsen left side off the glass and good for two.
And just sneaking up behind King off the steal right there, forcing a turnover and getting an easy layup off the forced turnover.
Abby Johnson's just so versatile at 6'2".
Getting on the floor and hustling for that open layup.
Nice fake by Anderson, gets into the paint, but then dribbles off her own foot. Ball gets knocked around, finally picked up by LC State as they're going to bring it up with Moskrip and across the timeline. They're going to hand it off to Nielsen. Jamie Nielsen is going to get it back over to Berlin. Berlin looking for someone to get the basketball to. Gets it on the elbow to Burlage. Down low, shot goes up too strong by Moskrip. Rebound pulled down by Shy. Shy to King. King behind the back, gets to free throw line, pulls it back out. Pulls and pops on the three, can't get it to go. Rebound's pulled down by Burlage. Burlage is going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's going to hit it to Moskrip. Moskrip's going to bring it across the timeline for the Warriors. Back over to the right side to Berlin. Berlin will swing it back across. And with the shot clock off, it looks like they're going to be more than content to play for the last shot here. As they work it back around over to Berlin. Berlin off the left side, no good. Darby Shy fell on the basketball and out of bounds, right?
Right there on the baseline. We'll see if they're going to put a second on. It looks like they're going to.
I'm not sure what they're going to call here.
They're going to discuss. 0.8 is what the referee says. They're going to put on the clock right there. Berlin tried to go with it.
I think it's going to be LC's ball, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Berlin with the spin. Tried to go with the up and under on the left side and just missed it. Thought she had some contact, and then Darby Shy.
Just couldn't get a grip on it.
Yeah, hustling on the ground for it. Shy dives out of bounds. It's going to be LC State basketball.
Well, I think she got it and then lost the handle and then dove for it on the ground as she was out of bounds. Inbound goes in, shot short by Burlage. So after 1 quarter of play on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, University of Montana Western trails LC State 15-10. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Vans IGA has the IGA promise. A warm welcome and friendly, knowledgeable associates, great service and quick response to your special request. Locally owned by people you could trust, Vans IGA is at the heart of your community. Vans IGA cares about the Dillon community. They sponsor local sporting events.
Cougars and Beavers. Big Time Sportswear and Design, 20 East Glendale, 683-2889. Hope to see you soon.
And welcome back to live basketball action. A little jittery on this side of things. Turn the ball over a few more times than we usually do. Defensively, we look a little bit out of place. But overall, I mean, just down 5, considering I don't think we've played our best basketball at all yet.
No, LC State doing a great job of keeping that key area. They want everybody out of there, and then if you see if Bree King gets the handle, they have about 3 defenders coming to help.
Souvenir gets it back, puts up the 3, and gets the shooter's touch as it rolls in to make it 18-10.
Such a crafty player, Souvenir. Really can score from anywhere on the floor.
They get it down low to Cooper. Cooper goes up, no good. Rebound's pulled out of there by Lamy. Lamy looked for some space, gets to King. King gets it in, kicks it out. As she gets to Anderson, Anderson goes back, gets it down low. Cooper goes up and gets knocked down. I believe the foul is going to be on Jamie Nielsen. It's getting awful physical down there.
Yes, Bree King initiating the idea to drive in that zone and try to find something open down low. And right there, Tori Anderson doing that. She drives right to the middle of the key, drops it off to Britt Cooper.
And Cooper buries the first one. Definitely going to be wanting to make these free throws as you play a team that shoots free throws extremely well.
And another offensive rebound. Plus, this team's trying to slow it down, not many possessions, and you got to hit your free throws when you're not getting as many possessions as you usually do.
So Cooper hits both as they work it up and across the timeline into Nielsen's hands. She's going to get it back out up top to Souvenir. Souvenir down the left side. She's going to hand off to Nielsen, who'll bring it back around center, and then back over to the right side, and then back to Nielsen right away from Abby Farmer. And then back to Souvenir to Nielsen. Nielsen gets into the paint, puts it up too strong, and Cooper's going to come away with the rebound, and then she's fouled by Nielsen. And I think that's going to be Nielsen's second.
Nielsen just a little frustrated. Good defense in the 2-3 right there. If you're going to get inside, it's going to be a contested look. And right there, just missing the contested layup.
Well, they called that on Johnson.
Oh, really? I thought it was on Nielsen as well.
All day. And then Blackman checked back in. And they get it to Worcester. Worcester to Lamy. Lamy to the free throw line to Anderson for three. No good. Rebound pulled down by Blackman as she saves it into Abby Johnson. Johnson gets it over and then into the corner to Nielsen. Nielsen puts it up off the glass, good for two. She's going to go for the end one on the foul as well.
Great job from Nielsen attacking off the dribble. And if they're going to get any easy buckets, they're going to try to do that in transition. If you're going to press LC, they're trying to get right down there and get to a layup. This time Nielsen right there. And
that's on Worcester, her first.
On the other end, got to be shot ready if you're in a zone.
Shots up, and that'll make it a 21-12 advantage. Thank you for joining us out in Lewiston on KOZEAM 1490. King gets it over to the left side to Worcester. Worcester back to the right side. King's going to get into the paint, and the kick out to Lamy. Lamy for three. It's up and good. Lamy's feeling it tonight.
Lamy hitting the threes when they need them the most. Two tough threes for Sierra Lamy.
And the ball's loose. It's picked up by King. King hands it off to Anderson. Just what we needed, an extra possession. Into the corner to Worcester. Worcester for three. No good. And the tough part is it's just we're not getting too many offensive boards.
Yep, you're exactly right. They do a great job in their zone of finding a body.
King working hard on the defense as Moscrip gets it over to Nielsen. Anderson on the reach. She knocked it away, but she's called on the reach.
Anderson trying to reach from behind her defender. Lets the defender go by, reaches from behind to try to hit that ball out. And this time she's hitting the arm. And you see Montana Western, they keep switching between the 2-3 back to the man. And right now they just did that in the last possession. They were man now coming out.
I like this lineup. Forster and checks out, as does Anderson. This time Souvenir's way off the backboard. It goes off the top. But it's Lamy, King, Bignell, Cooper, and Holmes. So you got good length, but you also have some slashers in there. Because you got to get something in the paint because you're just not getting any shots, offensive shots. So you got to get some of your slashers in there. Bignell gets it into Lamy. Lamy, nowhere to go, gets to Bignell. Bignell back out in the corner. Holmes for three. It's up and good. That was a huge shot. Cut the lead in half and makes it 21-18 Warriors. Basketball in the hands of Moscrip. Full court presentation. They get it to the middle and back over to Souvenir. Souvenir gets into the paint and the kick out to Berlin, who puts it up, no good. Holmes with the rebound. She's going to push it up and across the timeline. As Holmes gets it over to the right side to Lamy. Lamy gets it knocked away. She's able to corral it. She gets to Holmes. Holmes brings it back out up top to Bree King. King's going to get into the paint, kicks it into the corner, gets to Lamy. Lamy at the elbow. She's going to pull it back away to King. King with the basketball, gets into the paint, puts it up, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Berlin. Bignell steals and change and puts it up, no good, but she's hacked and will go to the charity stripe. And the intensity just completely switched colors.
Yes, you saw this tempo speed up a little bit in this game, and that is in Montana Western's favor.
Is it like the Warriors' death squad?
Yes, I was actually going to say a minute ago, the death squad, you see there's a lot of smaller guards that are everywhere on the floor, and here Savannah Bignell showing why that was a great lineup to put in, because you lose a possession, here she is just picking up a random steal.
Intense especially Holmes and Bignell and Bree. She misses the second, makes the first, but cuts to a 2-point lead. Warriors with the basketball. Souvenir brings it up and across the timeline. I tell you what, Souvenir for a sophomore is just way beyond her years and skill set. Puts it up, no good. Cooper with the rebound. She hands off to Bignell and brings it across the timeline. Bignell with the handoff to King. King works it over to the right side and gets it to Holmes. Holmes with the basketball, gets it knocked away, was able to pick it right back up, gets into the paint. Kick out to King. King for three, and it's good. And the Bulldogs take their first lead of the ball game, 22-21. And the Strau's electric right now. They work it over to the right side and to Moskowitz, back to Souvenir. Souvenir brings it across the timeline. She's setting up the offense for the LC State Warriors. They get the ball in the hands of Turner. Turner over to the right side, gets to Moskowitz, gets it right back. Tries to work it in, but then kicks it back out to Souvenir. Deep into the shot clock as they get it back out to Souvenir with 4 on the clock. She falls down, but gets the handoff to Turner. Turner's just going to throw the two-hand shot up, and they're going to call the shot clock violation, and that was really good defense.
Yes, it was. Great defense, the 2-3 zone. And there is where you can see sometimes when you're trying to slow the tempo so much where it hurts you. They didn't even get into their offense until there's about 19 left on the shot clock, and you think about that's taking 10, 12 seconds away from your offensive possession.
And they're extremely deliberate in their passes and their setups. They're more of a chest offense, so to speak. And with chess, you got to set up moves to make moves. And that's why I like what Coach has done with his slashers. Even the 2 forwards slash. Holmes gets into about free throw line, looking for it out, gets to Bignell. Bignell with the kick out to King. King pulls up with the 3, and in and out, rims out. Blackman with the rebound. She's going to hand it off over to Moskowitz. Moskowitz brings it across the timeline. Nothing you can do about that.
No, gets the open 3. You heard the crowd sigh after the miss. She was starting to feel that fire.
Gotta have a little fire check there. A little smoke check.
Yeah, the heat check.
And the handoff goes to Turner. Turner over into the corner. It gets knocked away, but right into the hands of Blackman. She misses. The rebound's going to be pulled down by King. King's going to bring it across the timeline over to the right side to Bignell. Bignell with the basketball. She gets it into the corner to Holmes. Holmes back over to Lamy. Lamy dribble drive penetration, gets it in, goes up off the glass and good for 2. And Lamy's been all that in a bag of chips, the pickle spear on the side here in the first.
Sarah Lamy, the zone killer. She'll slice and dice, get inside, and she'll hit the open 3 if you give it to her.
Moskowitz gets it over to Berlin. Berlin with the basketball, gets it back out up top to Moskowitz. They're going to slow it right back down again. As Moskowitz up for an opening, she's going to get it over to Johnson and get it right back. She dribble drives down the right side, but then the kick out and the shot goes up by Turner. Turner's off, it gets knocked into King's hands. King's dribbles off her own foot, but luckily right to Holmes. Holmes in the corner to Bignell. Bignell right on the attack. It's in the corner to Lamy. Lamy for 3. And she hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Great find.
Big
Savannah
time.
Bignell drive and kick to the open Lamy, and she is on fire right now.
Well, we're on a 17 to about 6? 17 to 6 run. So basketball up top in the hands, and LC State's still trying to slow it down a bit. They get the kick out, and the shot goes up, no good. And they're settling for 16 to 18 footers, which was good when you had the lead. But trying to come back in that fashion doesn't always help. Gets it back over to the right side, gets it down low, and she's going to get blocked, but get the basketball right back to Cooper. Shot to King. King for 3, no good. Rebound gets knocked around and almost knocked out of bounds, ripped out of the hands. Blackman rips it out of the hands of Bignell.
There's Bignell right there, just being a pest on the defensive end.
not too many people are stronger than Big Nell, and that was just a rip right out. Shots up and no good. Rebound's going to be pulled away and back the other way. Oh, too far ahead as Paige Holmes got it too far out in front of Big Nell.
So
And those girls deserve a hand. That was a great lineup. Good move by Coach.
Yes, good look up the court, but sometimes going a little bit too fast can hurt you as well as slowing down. So both teams playing well on the defensive end right now.
So with 2:21 left in the half on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, Bulldogs lead 27-21. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Did you know the reason why our nose gets runny when you are crying is because the tears from your eyes drain into your nose?
Worked,
Some people sneeze if they have a light shine into their eyes. It's impossible to sneeze with your eyes open. Each of your eyelashes has a light.
That was a 1 minute, right?
Yes.
Got it.
You blink 17
Definitely
times
the
a
death
minute, or
lineup.
5.2 million times in a year. The most common injury caused by cosmetics to the eyes is a mascara loss. Eyes are your most precious set. Care for them.
Guards up here,
Doctors Douglas and John Krager, your vision.
That's why they couldn't get the offense going.
Yep.
In life, there are typically three types of dreamers.
Well, they all have pretty good
Those who
legs
want success to happen, those who wish it would happen, and then there are those who wake up every morning and make it happen. At the Bank of Commerce, we understand the hard work, determination, and
10 seconds.
make your dreams come true. That's why we're with you every step of the way. The Bank of Commerce, helping you achieve your dreams.
Member FDIC.
And welcome back to live basketball action here from the Strow. So you have Worcester, Big Nell, and stolen away, but then Holmes gives it right back. Holmes and Shy on the floor for the Bulldogs. Moskrip with the basketball as she's joined on the floor by Sierra Burlidge, Nielsen, Jamie Nielsen, Blackman, and I'm missing one person. And of course, the do-everything Abby Johnson. Back out up top to Nielsen. Nielsen goes down the right side, gets it back over the left side to Moskrip with one on the shot clock, and that'll be a violation right there again.
And that's what, three we've seen here in the second quarter, 30-second violations. So this defense for Montana Western, whatever Coach Woolley did to change, made a great change because they have been locking up.
Big Nell brings it across the timeline for the Bulldogs, gets it back out up top as she gets it into the hands and right back, I should say a book out and gets right back and then gives it the book out into the corner to Holmes. Holmes brings it back to the right side as she goes baseline. She's going to step around and put it up with the left hand, too strong. Gets knocked out of there nicely by Shy, picked up by Holmes, and they restart the offense as book out has it on the left side, backing the Horner to Holmes. Holmes puts it up and she gets fouled. It could have been one or two people, and I believe it's going to be on Burlidge.
Holmes is definitely at her best when she's attacking off the dribble. Not primarily a shooter, although she can hit that corner three, but you see her twice in a row, and she's always getting offensive rebounds as well.
Certainly like it when she gets that corner shot going. Holmes puts it up and drops it down. Big Nell checks out, King checks in.
Such a versatile player that you could put her on Abby Johnson, who is, basically unguardable, a 6'2" sophomore who can come at you off the dribble and hit the outside shot. Right now,
Holmes does her job. It hits both to make it 29-21 Bulldogs. 1:13 left in the half on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. A little full court presentation as they get it to Nielsen. Nielsen picked up by Bookout. She'll get it back out up top to Moskrip. Moskrip with the basketball as she looks to set the offense here at 17 on the shot clock. They get it over to Johnson. Johnson to Farmer and then back to Nielsen. Nielsen looking for an advantage, gets to Moskrip. Moskrip working on Worcester. Gets it into the paint, goes up and gets blocked by Worcester. And they're going to call her for the foul, but that looks like some quality defense.
And a questionable call, I have to say I do not agree with. But, that's what you get. You get rewarded if you attack off the dribble. And right there, the senior, Callie Moskrip, out of Lewiston, Idaho, 5'8" guard. She knew. She said, I had a younger player smaller than me. I'm going to go in here, draw this contact, and get a few free ones.
Shots up and good. Worcester checks out. Lamy checks in. And the officials have done a fantastic job. Don't be wrong. It just seemed in that one, she did such a good job of keeping her feet moving and stayed in front of her. but he was in a great position to make the call, and like you said, you do get rewarded for playing hard on both sides of the floor. King brings it up across the timeline over to Lamy. Lamy's going to get it up top to Bookout. Bookout back to Lamy. Lamy's going to cut right in, puts it up, and she's going to get called for the charge as Blackman holds her ground.
And Lamy been pretty close to getting about 2 or 3 charges called on her, so you have to expect eventually one of these. You know, they're waiting right there in the key in the zone.
And they'll move it up, the full court presentation. And they'll bring it across the timeline with Moskrip. Moskrip with the basketball. She'll work it back over to the right side. It looks like they're going to try to work as close to the last shot as they can. And they're going to call King on the reach.
And Bree King all over her, playing great defense, moving her feet, tries to get at the last second, get a tip steal, and that's just a little bit too handsy for this ref right there, reaching in for the foul. Coach really didn't like the call, but great job from the point guard position, Callie Moskrip.
Shots up, and front iron no good. As they say in basketball, the ball don't lie. So maybe with the miss, that wasn't good. 12-5 left, 29-23. Bulldogs with the advantage. Shots up, and the crowd started chanting, ball don't lie, as she misses both. Basketball back the other way as they get it into the hands of Holmes to King. King with the step back, threes up, no good. Gets knocked around, almost gets knocked out of bounds. And that'll do it for first half of play. The University of Montana Western Bulldogs 29, LC State College Warriors 23. We'll be back in 4 minutes for the Papa T's halftime show. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
Arnie Miller and Son. with Red Hot buys on Scott's 4-step annual fertilizer program, Red Hot buys on Ace fertilizer program, plus Red Hot buys on all Scott's turf builder fertilizer, Red Hot buys on yard and garden tools, garden hoses, Red Hot buys on select craft,
10 seconds,
chainsaws and mowers. Standard Lumber is your helpful place for spring since 1917. So catch spring fever at Standard Lumber. Stop by today and save.
And welcome back to live basketball action from the Stroud. And there's nothing better than watching a chicken get flung across the gym and caught in a basket.
Yeah, a slingshot chicken toss into the basket. It's really some pretty solid halftime entertainment.
Nothing quite, even more importantly, like Frontier Conference basketball. I mean, first off, you got to play these teams all year, and then it all comes down to this. All 4 top teams advance. We have a 4 versus 1, 3 versus 2, and then the winners of all that meet up on Monday for the Frontier Conference Championship. And then once again, it'll be in Billings, Montana, the round of 32. So how exciting. Kind of came out not really playing Bulldog basketball.
No, the defense for this Lewis Clark State team, they're coming out with a chip on their shoulder, and they were ready for this game plan. They said, we don't want fast breaks, and we don't want to allow these guards to get easy drives, or these forwards like Britt Cooper and Sarah Lamy to get easy looks on the inside of the high post area. Defensively in the first quarter and some of the second quarter, they really did that, I thought.
Well, and by the great words of Mike Tyson, everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the face. And then what happened was the things kind of changed a little bit there. Coach came out with we're kind of going with the Golden State Warriors death lineup, and they changed the game.
Yeah, a little bit smaller. You got a lot of pesky guards, and they really made that zone stronger. And I thought that they also did a great job in the 2-3 defense. That's one thing about this Montana Western team we preach all year. Defensively, they don't quit on you. They are always there 110%. And I thought Paige Holmes, Savannah Bigdell, Worcester even, those tough guards did a great job when they came in that second lineup.
Well, and they pushed the pace on both sides. They wanted to slow it down when they got the basketball on this side. But what they did was they harassed them and lengthened that zone, and then made the people do a lot more work up top here, and it really forced the issue. I mean, like you had mentioned before, I think it was at least 3 30-second violations on the shot clock, and that changed everything. And welcome to the Papa T's halftime show. Papa T's, home of the world-famous taco pizza. If you're staying in and watching movies and it's cold out here in Dillon, Montana, you're probably going to want a Papa T's while you sit down and listen to a game and maybe watch a movie. So Papa T's, great place to get great food. Yes, they do have takeout.
Yes, and I think tomorrow, college basketball, that's going to be my lunch plan. As of today, I haven't eaten out all week, so, you got to treat yourself with some Papa T's on the weekends.
Absolutely. Maybe some cottage fries as a side.
Ooh, that's
a little bit of ranch.
It's either the pizza or do I get the chicken,
Well, the Bulldogs lead 29-23 here, and it started out with a 15-10 LC State advantage. I think at one point they had a 19-10 lead, if I'm not mistaken, and then we came roaring back. I think it was about a 19-4 or 19-6 run at one point, and really was led by that death squad, as we like to call it. But the bigs really set the tone early. Problem is that they have so much more height that we have to rebound it with something, quickness, whatever it be. So great job by Coach Woolley of really changing the pace on them.
Yeah, defensive rebound has been phenomenal tonight. You got a player like Blackman and Turner, who fortunately for Montana Western has been into foul trouble, and I think will definitely be a game changer in the second half. How much time do Blackman and Turner get on the floor together? Because when they're both on the floor, as well as Abby Johnson, it's a three-headed monster on the offensive end, and it's really hard to rebound when those three are on the floor together.
Well, and Lamy has come out and played fantastic. She's got her shots from inside, outside. She's got to the charity stripe a couple times. So, got to the inside. I meant the block. I'm sorry, not the charity stripe. So she's actually been pretty versatile. Hit the three, did some slashing, got to the bucket. So I really like what Sierra Lamy's doing so far. Bree King shows 2 of 10 shooting, and I'll let you get to the stats here in a second, but those shots are all close, though. It's scary. You look at someone 2 of 10, you feel like they're struggling, but those 8 shots, almost all of them rimmed out or were just a little too much. So I look for her to get more of that scoring obligation here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and 8 of those shots are from behind the three-point line. You see where the defense that LC State is playing really pays off in the way that they want to. They keep Bree King. We know she can drive. Keep her out there shooting threes, and when she's a good scorer, it's so hard for her to look up open looks, and she may hit some of those. Some days she'll go not hit as many, and I think that's a chance that they're willing to take.
Well, and I'm guessing Coach probably went over the 8 turnovers. That's uncharacteristic of this team. That's not even a lot of turnovers, but for this team you usually see 8 in a game, not 8.5.
Yep, you're exactly right. Playing a great team, you can't turn it over. I think both of these coaches probably know that, and it's going to pay off if you do cause those turnovers on the defensive end.
No serious real foul troubles here. I mean, both teams are pretty close to the same amount. I think it was 5 to 8 on the free throw line, so everything kind of close there. So just awesome basketball game so far, and I guess we're going to have to find out whose bench is deeper as we get going here too as well. And really look forward to that. Why don't you get us, flex your knowledge on some stats for us, if you would, please.
For Lewis Clark State Warriors, Haley Turner, she has 2 rebounds, 4 points on 13 minutes of play, 2 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, as well as 2 steals for Abby Johnson, doing it all over the floor. Jocelyn Blackman, the rebounder, she has 5 rebounds, 2 points, an assist, 1 block, as well as a steal to go along with it. 2 assists, 2 points for Callie Moscrip. She also has a steal. 1 rebound and 2 assists for Hannah Berlin. Peyton Souvenir putting in some good minutes. She had 8 points and a steal, so calm and collected. Moving down to Jamie Nielsen, who had 5 points and a rebound on 6.5 minutes of play in the half. And 1 steal, 1 rebound for Kiara Burlage. They went 9 of 23, just 39% from the field, and 2 of 7 from the three-point line. 3 of 5 from the free throw, 60%, so you like to see those numbers. Not shooting as much as they usually do in the percentage area from the field. On the other side of things for Montana Western, 4 rebounds, 2 points, and 2 steals for Britt Cooper. She is in a crucial matchup with Blackman tonight. 11 points, 3 rebounds for Sierra Lamy. You already talked about how she's playing 3 of 3 from behind the line, 4 of 5 altogether. 5 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal for Paige Holmes. Brianna King had 6 points and 3 rebounds, as well as an assist and 2 steals, so just doing it all over the floor. 1 point and an assist for Tori Anderson. 3-pointer for Brandy Bookout. She's 100% from the field. 1 assist for Shannon Worcester on 6 minutes of play. Savannah Bignell, she had 2 assists as well as a point and 2 steals to go along with the death lineup on defense. And Darby Shy coming in, always playing good minutes against tough forwards. She has 2 rebounds. They shot 8 of 25, just 32% from the field, and 7 of 15 from behind the three-point line, 6 of 8 from the free throw line.
You always love it when you how many teams have a Bignell and a Worcester that they can bring in just to change the tempo and, get that hard-nosed defense. You know that you were guarded by those two by the end of the night.
Well, you see players like Hannah Turner that, are a little bit bigger, don't handle the ball as much. When they get a player like Bignell or Worcester around them, that's just uncomfortable. I mean, there's no way around it. It makes you uncomfortable. And, whether they're getting foul calls or not, it still makes an effect on the offense.
I think we're going to see a lot more of Britt Cooper here in the second half. She's just too good a player to hold down. Defensively, she does such a great job and is a good passer. I think you're going to use a little bit more of her in the block to get maybe some of those slashes to the bucket. I think Coach really worked that out and found that out in his death lineup, that even if he's working with Cooper and Lamy, he can get those slash moves, whether it be King or Holmes, Worcester, whoever cuts to the bucket. So it'll be interesting to see if we'll go back to that full court pressure as well.
For me, on the offensive side of things for Montana Western, I think I'm looking for one of these shooters to really catch fire, whether it's Lamy continuing to knock down the three-point shot, or players like Tori Anderson getting in on the mix of those threes.
Or maybe Worcester, even a Bookout.
Yeah, Worcester, Bookout, they can all shoot the 3-ball. So I think one of those players, if they continue to shoot the 3-ball and knock down a few more to help out Brianna King, it's going to allow her to do what she does in the second half of ball games.
Bulldogs lead 29-23 We'll be back in 2 minutes to start the second half. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Dairy Queen's $5 lunch. It's not just for lunch, it's all day long. Try the 3-piece chicken strip lunch, which includes fries, 21-ounce drink, and your choice of dipping sauce, and a sundae. Or try the deluxe cheeseburger lunch, served with American cheese, thick cut tomatoes, crisp lettuce, onions, pickles, fries, a 21-ounce drink, and a sundae. You can upgrade your sundae to a blizzard for $1.
But of course we win.
Dillon's Dairy Queen $5 lunch is all day long. Dairy Queen is open from 10:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. daily.
See, I'm a little bit biased.
Hi,
this
is Josh Taylor from Frontline
kind of like
we have a line of
games
compact
are even like
utility
10
tractors
points.
that will fit all your needs from landscape
I just want a bigger
projects,
lead. I just
plowing
want a bigger
snow this
lead.
winter,
Like,
and anything in
even though I do
between.
like close
They start at
games,
23 horsepower and go all the way up to
Stretch out the
66
lead a
horsepower.
Yeah,
little
that's my
more.
problem when
If
I
you
play
got a
like
job
2Ks.
for us, they
I'll
make
be
an
up like
attachment to make life
13,
easier.
I'm still like,
Don't worry about
why are
having
we
to work on it
letting them
either.
score
Dale
on
and our
us right
service
now?
department
People are
has
like,
that
relax,
handled.
man, you're
Call or
up.
stop by
Right.
Frontline Ag
Oh, okay,
today
you
to
can
find
call
out
back
more
any
or
minute.
schedule a demo. See how
Everyone makes a
versatile these
run if
machines
they're
are.
good, you know.
Hi, this is Dr. Belize with the Montana Thermography Center. One common question I get asked is thermography a useful tool for breast cancer detection? The answer to this is yes. Thermography provides information about subtle physiological changes to breast tissue. This in return can lead to more attentive monitoring.
Well,
Thermography has been
these
shown
girls,
to
it's their
enhance
last
and at
hurrah.
times surpass other breast
I know,
cancer
it's gonna
detection
be
modalities.
a
For
lot
more
different team
information
next
on
year.
breast thermography, call me
It's
at
crazy how much the teams change. Like,
683-9600.
you don't really realize until,
Last
like,
ad.
you know,
Highway,
you get that,
maybe
I just-
heading out
you
on a
know, I know
snowmobile
this
trip,
team, and then
or just need to
next
fuel
year
up.
you're like, holy,
At the Mini
it's completely
Phillips
What
different.
happened?
Yeah.
you can find everything you need to get you and your vehicle going. Grab a quick bite, a cup of coffee, or a cappuccino, and don't forget to pick up some heat for your car or truck. Then fuel up
10 seconds.
and hit the road. At the Mini, you can also find blended diesel. The Mini, Dillon's most convenient store, open every day at 5:30 a.m.
And welcome back. The Bulldogs will start with the basketballs. They go right to left on your dial. King works it down low to Cooper. And like clockwork, Cooper puts it up and in to make it a 31-23 full court presentation by the Bulldogs. As they get into Williams, Williams breaks it with Berlin. Berlin's going to hand it back off to Moskrip. Moskrip back over to Johnson. Abby Johnson over to Moskrip, over to the right side to Berlin, to Moskrip. Back up top as they get it back over into the hands of Abby Johnson. Into the corner and out of the hands of Berlin, and a turnover already.
And Uncle Mo already making a presence here in the first two possessions for Montana Western. They get the easy layup and then the unforced turnover on the defensive end.
I noticed they have Abby Johnson more up on top, though, which is, really, Coach Orr, 18 seasons, he knows what he's doing. And they work it over to the right side to Anderson. Anderson gets to the paint. The kick out to Lamy. Lamy goes right in on the left side. Gets up off the glass and good for two. That was a good read by her of finding that lane.
And they found that area in the zone twice in a row right there on the left side of the key, getting some open looks from that area. Coach Woolley must have talked about at half.
And they get it back out up top to Moskrip. Moskrip with the basketball, gets over to the right side as Blackman shoots up the three. I'm sure you're okay with her shooting threes. Gets her away from the rebounding and probably not the one you want to pull the trigger, even though she's a good shooter. You'd love to have her back to the basket. And they work it down low to Cooper. Cooper kicks it out and then gets it out to Anderson. Anderson into the paint, into the corner to Holmes. Holmes doesn't settle, gets to King for three, and she buries the triple to make it 36-23. And these ladies are coming out with a purpose here in the second half.
Yeah, although she's not a pure shooter, when she hits the three that easily, it can be scary.
Berlin puts it up and gets it to go. So Hannah Berlin breaks the run to make it 36-25 Bulldogs. Bulldogs with the basketball as they bring it up and across the timeline. Bree King setting up the offense. She gets it over to the left side to Holmes. Holmes to Lamy. Over to the right side to King. King into the paint, gets it racked up by Blackman. And it's going to be a jump ball. And it looks like it'll be a Warrior basketball.
Great job on the defensive end from Blackman. They're just closing up any driving lanes for Brianna King and getting that jump ball.
And they get the basketball right back to Moskrip. Moskrip's going to bring it across the timeline. And at the very least, that seems to, at least when we press them, you can't get your big setup right away either. Moskrip shoots up the three and gets it to go. So big shot by Callie Moskrip. She cuts to a 36-28 Bulldog lead. King with the basketball over the left side to Lamy. Lamy swings it back over to the center and then over to the right side to King. King back to Lamy. Lamy works it down low to Cooper. Cooper gets it up and she gets hacked in the act. I think they're going to get Abby Johnson on the call.
Cooper so strong down low, always fighting for position. There she is, sealing underneath the defender in the zone and just tossing it right over the top to draw the foul.
Shots up and no good. Definitely saw Cooper getting a little more opportunity here in the second half. And shots up and no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Turner. Turner's going to bring it and looking for a little bit of help. Gets to Moskrip. Moskrip brings it across to the center and then down the left side and across the timeline. They look to set up the offense. They get it over to Abby Johnson. Johnson gets it taken away, stolen by King on the pass. King gets right into the paint, attacks the rim, hits the hoop and the harm, and that's what she does.
Using the finger roll with the contact. Brianna King, she is a walking highlight reel in between 2-3 defenders. She just gets up in the air, takes the contact, and a nice, easy and one layup for Brianna King.
Souvenir checks in. Abby Johnson checks out. And that foul was on Callie Moskrip. And Souvenir had the best quarter, really, and she got in quicker than she was supposed to because of the injury to Berlin, got ran over. She came in, got hot, and let it go from there. Berlin gets it back to Souvenir. Souvenir gets it back to Berlin. Berlin down the left side. She gets it back out up top to Souvenir. Souvenir with the basketball. She works it over the right side to Moskrip. Back to Turner. Turner to Moskrip. Back to Turner. Turner from the elbow. Shots up, no good. King with the rebound. King's going to push it up across the timeline behind the back. Kicks it out to Anderson. Anderson for three. Oh! And she hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
What a move from Brianna King. The flashy dribble move. Kick out to Tori Anderson for the open three. That's a highlight play for
Well, and I think Anderson needed that. She's such a good shooter. She has a little bit of confidence and that wide open look, and she splashes the three to make it 42-18. Souvenir puts up the triple, and she answers right back the triple of her own. And that young lady's playing great basketball right now, too.
You just wonder why she isn't your starter at times, you know, but you're not questioning Coach Orr. He's clearly a genius in the basketball world, but she is offensively a dynamite.
Lamy goes baseline, goes as far as she can, then the kick out goes to Cooper, Cooper to King. King looking to set up the offense. She gets it over to Anderson. Anderson with 7 on the shot clock with the step around, puts it up, gets knocked out of there into the hands of Moskrip. Moskrip brings it across the timeline and over down the left side. And they're going to get Anderson on the reach there.
Anderson trying to be sneaky. She's a very sneaky defensive player. Tried to sneak up behind Moskrip and just get a steal. Unfortunately, just drew the foul. Moskrip really done a good job of keeping possession and not turning the ball over on the offensive end.
Lamy Holmes and Anderson check out. Bignell, Worcester, and Bookout check in. Inbound goes into Moskrip. Moskrip sets up the offense. Gets it over to the right side into the hands of Turner. Turner back over to the left side as Callie Moskrip gets the Souvenir. Back to Moskrip. Moskrip's going to go baseline. Tries to kick it over. It gets knocked out of bounds by Bookout. 15 on the shot clock as they'll inbound from underneath their bucket. Moskrip to inbound.
Western switching to the man-to-man defense.
Moskrip with the shot off the Blackman pass. Looked like he was inside, but they called it a three.
Looked right off the front of the rim and gets the shooter's roll right over and in.
42-34, Bulldogs with the advantage. Bignell back around to the left side, gets it over here to King. King gets the screen and roll back to Bignell. Bignell for three, in and out, no good. Blackman with the rebound. She's going to hit the outlet to Moskrip. Moskrip brings it across the timeline. You have two good teams like that's what happens. They rim out. They don't miss. They just barely miss. She gets it back up top to Blackman. Blackman pulls up, hits the three. She gets front rim glass and then good.
And they'll pull
within 5.
You're happy with that shot. You want to make Blackman shoot from outside, and here, making you pay.
King behind the back, and then the kick out to Worcester. Worcester to Big Nell. Big Nell to hand out to Bookout. Bookout goes around the screen, gets free throw line, gets blocked by Blackman, but they are going to call a foul on Jocelyn Blackman, the 6-foot senior out of Brush Prairie, Washington.
That one, in my opinion, could have gone either way. Blackman, from the center of that zone, coming out and blocking the jump shot, gets the foul call.
So with 4:02 left here in the third quarter on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, Bulldogs lead 42-37. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Hi, this is Janet with High Peaks Federal Credit Union. I just wanted to remind all our members to join the board and staff at our 58th annual meeting to be held on Monday, March 11th at 6:30 p.m. in the Lewis and Clark Room at the University of Montana Western. Elections will be held, refreshments will be served, and there will be drawings for several store prizes, including Thou Profit Pottery. We hope to see you there. High Peaks Federal Credit Union, one of America's credit unions where people are worth more than money.
East Bench Grain is now offering certified seeds for forage grasses, cover crops, alfalfa, barley, winter and spring wheat. Call Kent today to find out more about East Bench Grain seed services. You know the great service East Bench Grain provides during harvest. Now you get the same great service during the planting season. You grow it, they ship it.
10 seconds.
Here for you. East Bench Grain, from planting to harvest, they're there for you. Call Kent today at East Bench Grain, 683-5044.
And welcome back to live basketball action here from the Stroud Gymnasium. Bookout, King, Worcester, Shy, and Big Nell on the floor for the Bulldogs. Moskrip, Nielsen, Blackman, Souvenir, and Haley Turner on the floor for the Warriors. Bookout to the free throw line, puts it up and drops it down. And so that'll make it 43-37 here in the third quarter. 4:02 left in the third quarter on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. Shots up and good by Bookout.
And the full court presentation continues.
As they get it into Nielsen. Nielsen picked up on the trap, gets knocked away, picked up by Souvenir as she gets it to Moskrip. Moskrip is going to bring it across the timeline, gets it knocked away there. And Blackman just has vice grips.
Yes, any ball on the ground, Blackman's going to dive. She gets her hands on it, it's going to be a jump ball at least. And right there, Montana Western switched up their actual full court press and went to a trap, and the trap worked, giving LC State lots of fits in the backcourt.
So the Bulldogs with the basketball. King hands off to Big Nell. Big Nell almost loses the handle. She's able to collect herself, get it back, and then almost loses it again. King gets the screen from Shy, pulls and pops. Back iron, no good. Blackman able to track down the rebound. She's going to hand off to Moskrip. Moskrip will bring it across the timeline. She'll bring it down the right side, looking for an opening, nothing doing. She'll go back down the left side over to Nielsen. Nielsen back out up top, gets into the hands of Turner. Turner looking to go to the right elbow. She gets it over in the corner. Souvenir puts up the three and buries it. And Souvenir almost single-handedly keeping him in the ballgame.
Yes, she just has such a smooth jump shot with that left hand, holding her follow through, and she can shoot off the dribble too.
44-40, Bulldogs with the lead. Worcester with the basketball. She brings it back out up top. Looks for the cutter up to the left side to Big Nell. Big Nell back to King. King left side into the paint. Kick into the corner to Worcester. Worcester for three, and it's good. What a great look by Brianna King.
Yeah, you could see it. We had a great view from right behind her to see what she was looking at, and she drove right into the key, kick to the open Worcester in the corner.
That'll make it 47-40 Bulldogs. 2:25 left in the third quarter on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. Moskrip with the basketball, looking for the offense to unfold for her. Gets it over to the right side and gets it right back. Moskrip working on Worcester as she gets it over to Turner. Turner's going to dribble to about free throw line, and then the kick out into the corner to Nielsen. And Nielsen hits the triple from the corner to make it 47-43.
You can't give them any open space. This LC State team, known for shooting the three ball, hasn't shot it as well today.
And King comes right back with the three-point dagger of her own as she drops the triple in to make it 50-43. Moskrip brings it across the timeline for the Warriors. She sets up the offense a lot more deliberately than the Bulldogs. Over to the right side and gets it right back. Switching it over to Turner. Turner to the left side as they get it in the corner to Souvenir, and Souvenir knocks down the triple.
And 3 triples from the left side of that zone. They have found the opening in this Montana Western zone. They're going to have to stop the bleeding.
Big Nell with the basketball. She gets it down low. Give and go to Big Nell. And she gets called for the travel.
Big Nell wants the foul call when she drove in there. It's going to be a travel. Ball got tipped around a little bit, and I can see where the referee's coming from on that call. You're right in the middle of the zone, and it's just uncontrolled. You can see where she almost walked. Could have gone either way.
50-46, Bulldogs with the lead. Warriors with the basketball. They'll get it to Nielsen. Nielsen over to the right side to Moskrip. Moskrip back over to the left side to Souvenir. Souvenir. And she gets it to Blackman. Blackman puts up the shot and buries it from the left elbow. And that'll make it 50-48. Bulldogs with the basketball.
Setting up a triangle on the left side of that zone. They got one in the corner, one in the left wing, and one down low, and you got to leave one open.
Lamy into the corner. And then Holmes will bring it back around, get into the paint. Left side step around, gets it up and gets the arm.
Paige Holmes, she hasn't been showing off the Euro step earlier in the season, but right here when she drove in that zone, just a nice, easy move from the right to the left foot. She stays with the right hand.
More importantly, that's 3 on Blackman.
And now Blackman and Turner both in 2 or 3 fouls between both of them. So.
And then Holmes not only with the big bucket, but gets the freebie to make it 53-48. Moskrip with the basketball. She's going to get it over to Souvenir. Souvenir on the right side brings it back around to the middle to reset the offense for the Warriors. Souvenir does a great job. She handles the basketball with both hands. Like you said, shoots on the setup, but also on the run. She's a good basketball player and only a sophomore.
She doesn't turn it over. She's very calm and collected with the ball in her hands.
Gets to the elbow and then back out to Moskrip. Puts up the 3, and if they're open, they hit it.
Catching fire from behind the three-point line in the third quarter.
King with the 3. It's up and good.
And the crowd on their feet. The huddle coming out to join Bree King in the celebration. What can she not do on the basketball
She hit
court?
about the 30-footer to make it 56-51. Bulldogs, after 3 quarters of play, lead 56-51. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Hello, Southwest Montana. James Gorman, Jeff Gorman, Sons of McDonald's here, and I'm with my daughter and son, Piper and Riker. Say hi, Piper.
28 and 27?
Say hi, Riker.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Piper, can you tell everyone how much any size coffee costs at McDonald's?
$1, Daddy.
And Riker,
Man.
how much for any size pop?
I mean, at some point you had to think they were going to shoot
And
the
for all
three
you
ball
bacon
better
lovers,
than
it's bacon
2 for
time at
$7.
McDonald's.
I know,
Happy
right?
Rocker, Dylan, Anaconda,
Like, oh
and Deer
my
Lodge McDonald's.
gosh.
Locally owned and operated by us, the Gorman family.
What a game.
What a game.
Pneumatic
You got what you
irrigation
asked for,
systems
Chris.
are tough and
You still
dependable,
got the
just
lead.
like
I know,
the
like,
certified service
you love
staff
it and hate
at
it. Sometimes,
Intermountain
like, you're
Irrigation.
tired of feeling
When you
that,
need service, call Intermountain
just
at
gripping.
683-6571.
Well, they had a 10-point.
They
I
are
was
there
like,
to
they're
help
going to
you
run
every
away.
day
Or
and even available on weekends.
Well, any
Great
open look
service,
they've got
10
for 3,
seconds.
they've hit it.
Intermountain Irrigation, including great service for all brands of
And that's the
irrigation
unkind
systems.
rim. Usually.
Intermountain
Yeah.
Irrigation, there for you all year long.
And welcome back to live basketball action from the Stroud Gymnasium. It may be cold outside, but the shooters are awful warm in here.
Yeah, they must have had some sort of shooting in their, in their halftime in the locker room, because this LC State team came out on fire from behind the three-point
Well,
line.
it all comes down to this: 10 minutes to glory. To see who plays in the championship game on Monday. Bulldogs lead 56-51. Warriors with the basketball. Nielsen looking for an opening. Hands it off to Souvenir down the right side. Souvenir working on Holmes. And it should be a travel, and it is. A rare mistake by Peyton Souvenir.
Looked like she wanted to kick out to the left corner and then noticed there wasn't a player, so I had to turn all the way around and took an extra step in doing so. We'll see if they can continue their offensive barrage in the next possession.
Bulldogs with the basketball in the hands of King. King gets to Cooper. Cooper into the corner to Worcester. Worcester to Lamy. Lamy attacks the rim. Up left hand off the glass and good for 2. Lamy, every time she's in, has done a great job of really attacking the basketball. Moskrip brings it across the timeline for the Warriors. 58-51 Bulldog lead. Moskop looking for an opening as she dribbles down the right side. Gets over to the left side to Souvenir. Souvenir is going to work on King. She gets it over to the right side to Moskop, who goes baseline. And then the kick into the corner to Nielsen. Nielsen with the step around and gets it up and good.
Nielsen been very aggressive off the dribble today. It's paid off for her in multiple possessions. There she is dribbling through and hitting a nice, easy floater.
So with 8:50 left in the ball game on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, Bulldogs lead 58-53. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Your business is your livelihood and therefore a huge investment for you. I'm Judy Steering, a Farmers Union insurance agent, and I want to help you protect that investment.
Okay, I wouldn't
I'll
mind
make sure
like
your
a 10 or
business
12
owner's insurance
Yeah.
is right for replacement cost coverage and for those unexpected losses.
I mean, I like
I'll be
close,
happy to
but
compare
5 is a
our
little bit
business
too
owners
close.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
coverage. You
Couple
may save money
turnovers, and all
and
of a sudden
improve
you're
your
like, oh my
protection.
God.
Yeah.
Please call me at 683-2365 today for a free insurance review.
And welcome back to live basketball action here from the Stroud Gymnasium, University of Montana Western, in a back and forth battle here with LC State. And I tell you what, for a team like LC State, I was looking at their record, and how does a team like this even lose 7 games?
Yeah, no kidding. It's so surprising for me to see a team like, especially a team with this talent from LC State, coming in here with a chip on their shoulder. You know, usually Western is always trying to play up to LC State, and right now they're just so even, such a back and forth game that they're actually the team that needs the win tonight.
Well, and there's a lot of pride that they came in here, already beat us once. They're probably working their way on their resume. They're probably close to making the tournament, but also a lot of pride in this program as they win every year. As they get it back out to Worcester. Worcester over to the right side. King is going to hand it back off to Holmes. Holmes with 13 on the shot clock. It's down low to Worcester. Can't finish, but Cooper comes up the bucket, puts it up, and she gets hacked in the act. And great job of just really, she willed herself into that board. She was in there with 3 trees.
Yes, not the biggest player inside that key, but Britt Cooper just using that extra bit of hustle to get up there, get her mitts on it, draws the foul.
Can't get the free throw in a row. She's missed 3 straight.
And if you're LC State, this is what you want. Make her earn it from the free throw line. If she can just hit 1 out of 2, it's always better for them.
And it's up and good there. That's just the first for Nielsen. They've really let the good flow of basketball go. Great officiating so far. All game, they've been in the right positions. A great job, officials.
I couldn't agree more.
Moskop brings it across the timeline. Brings it back out up top as they reset the offense for the Warriors. Moskop back out up top as they get it into the hands. They're running the offense more through Turner this time, really, than they are Abby Johnson.
And here you see Blackman finally getting a touch back to the basket in the middle of the key. And she's been trying to get to that all night. We'll see if they continue to get those touches. This could be a different game for Montana Western.
That's first foul on Cooper. Back iron no good to Blackman. 8:07 left in the ball game. Western with the 59-53 lead. And Blackman puts it up and drops that one down to cut it to 5. 59-54 on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. King brings it up and across the timeline. She looks down the right side and hands it off to Worcester. Worcester's going to get the screen from Cooper, and then the kick from Abby Johnson. So it'll be Bulldog basketball with 19 ticks.
And Abby Johnson, a 6'2 sophomore, playing forward, but she plays the top of your 2-3 zone. So she can really play any position on the floor.
Dribbles well, passes well, shoots well.
Such
good
a
basketball player.
Fundamentally strong player.
And they work it over to the right side. Shot goes up by King, no good. Cooper saves it into Worcester and back to King. King's going to get into the paint, gets it down low to Cooper. Cooper gets the hoop and the arm, and that was all Brianna King.
And the Stroud Gymnasium electric because Brianna King drives in there, creates herself another highlight play. She jumps. Most coaches advise not to jump and then pass, but Brianna King, when you're that athletic, gives you enough time to zing it to Britt Cooper for the and one layup.
Shots in and out, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down there by Haley Turner, who brings it up herself and across the timeline down the right side. She hands backdoor to Johnson, who puts it up. No good. Gets knocked out of there. Finally pulled out of there by King. King's going to get it across the timeline. She passes it to Holmes. Over to Worcester, back to King. They got all their height in there right now. Holmes, free throw line. Holmes just throws it right to Moskrip. And Moskrip was in the right spot. So 61-54 Bulldogs, 6:50 left in the ball game on your Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. As they get it in the hands to Turner. Turner to Johnson, down low to Blackman, out to Nielsen. Nielsen with the three, no good. Rebound, last touch by LC State, so it'll be Western basketball.
Nielsen got the look she wanted from the left wing. Pretty contested, I thought, but really didn't change her shot. Could have gone. And you're talking about having size on the floor. Just a second ago, Moskrip being the only 5'8" smallest player in that zone, and that's when they got their hands out and they're reached out, it's an intimidating zone to come against offensively.
Souvenir and Burlage check in, and Berlin checks in for Nielsen. So you have Berlin, Blackman, Burlage, Abby Johnson, and Souvenir on the floor for the Warriors.
Your next lineup still 5'8", the shortest girl on the floor.
Over into the corner to Holmes. Holmes kick out to Worcester. Worcester for three, and she buries it. Snapping the nylon to push it out to a 64-54 lead. And just both teams, execution. It's just a fantastic basketball game to watch. Souvenir puts it up, a rare miss by her. It's knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Bulldogs. Worcester, King, Cooper, Lamey, and Holmes on the floor for the Bulldogs. And the Warriors inbound, get it down low, gets knocked away. This time the last touch by the Warriors, I believe off of Burlage.
Burlage tried to just get a quick catch the pass and right back to Souvenir. Souvenir wasn't ready. It's going to go out of bounds on the Warriors.
King brings it across the timeline. She flashes and gets it taken away. And there's that versatile Abby Johnson, but she finds a way to get a steal. Like you said, just a tall, lanky gal at the top of the zone sure helps out quite a bit. Shots up and no good. When you need a bucket, you go to Souvenir, don't you?
Yes, as if the length and the size wasn't enough for Abby Johnson. She literally has the quickness to steal a pass from Bree King, which is, I mean, that's tough for guards to do. And on the other end, Souvenir just attacking off the dribble.
What a shooter. He knocks that down like it was nothing.
You can really tell pure shooters when you see at the free throw line just how easy it is.
The confidence is there too, you know.
That's exactly what it is. She's just so calm, never really out of herself inside the game.
She hits both. Shy and Bignell check in for Cooper. Britt Cooper checked out. And I'm trying to, who else did we get out there? King over into the corner to Holmes. Hands off to Lamey. I guess it'd be Worcester who she checked in for. And then to King. King gets into the paint, kicks it in the corner. Holmes to three. No good. Shy had the rebound but couldn't keep it. And it falls into the hands of Mrs. Do Everything, Abby Johnson. Johnson out the Souvenir. Souvenir with the basketball. She goes back to the right side. The kick's into the corner to Johnson. Johnson over to the other corner. She gets to Berlin. Back to Blackman. Blackman for three, and she buries the triple. And it's now 64-59.
Blackman having a good offensive showing here in the second half.
Basketball's over to Bignell. Bignell to the left side. Back to Lamey. Lamey into the corner. Baseline goes Holmes. Back out to Lamey. Lamey into the paint. Left hand goes up. No good. Shy knocks it out. And says it was last touch by LC State.
Looks like it's going to be Montana Western basketball.
So 4:25 left in the ball game on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. University of Montana Western 64, LC State 59. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Reach your peak with Ortho Rehab. Our highly trained physical therapy team, Kirk Van Slyke and Sharon Harrison, work closely with their patients recovering after surgery or suffering from pain or injury. Whether you're a senior enjoying life to its fullest, a weekend warrior, or an elite athlete, Ortho Rehab will empower you to achieve your best through the benefits of physical therapy and sports medicine. Stop by 201 Southside Boulevard across from IGA or call us at 683-3675. Reach your peak with Ortho Rehab Physical Therapy.
I'm this ball ref. He's really good.
This is Shane Pooyer, branch manager of Stockton Bank. Stockton Bank is celebrating 65 years of service to the Montana community. As Montana's largest privately owned bank, Stockton is proud to be your neighbor and looks forward to serving you for many more years to come. Stockton Bank, Montana's brand of banking, member FDIC.
10 seconds.
And welcome back to live basketball action as the semifinal game to see who plays for the championship on Monday has been as advertised. And thanks for joining us out there in Lewiston, Idaho at KOZE 1490 AM. The Warriors on defense, Bulldogs to basketballs. They inbound it. They get it into Cooper. Cooper to Lamy. Lamy back to Cooper. Outside to Big Nell. Big Nell for three. And she buries it from the corner. Big bucket there to make it 67-59. And you can't do that unless you're getting good passing and then the shots are falling, and they're getting it going tonight. Souvenir with the quick pull, and it's no good. Big Nell's going to get the rebound, and she's going to bring it up and across the timeline for the Bulldogs. She's going to hand it off to Lamy. Lamy's going to get into the paint, kick it out to King. King goes baseline, and then she's going to pull it right back out. She's going to hand it back to Lamy. Lamy's going to go on the left side. Pulls up, gets blocked by Blackman. Rebound's going to be pulled down, or the ball's going to be pulled down by Johnson. She gets it over to the right side to Moskrip. Moskrip for three. And they're going to call a foul on Bignell.
Savannah Bignell hustling out, trying to tip that three. And they're going to get 3 free throws out of that. And what I thought could have gone either way. Personally, kind of thought she just tipped it, but you know, you can't hit or get under the shooter.
Well, and it was a late fall down by Moskrip too.
I think any good shooter that you know, plays in today's game is going to try to take that.
And that's
ball.
what a senior does, though, right? I mean, anything in the bag, you're going to pull it out. You're going to do it now. So Moskrip misses the first. It's still 67-59. She hits the second to make it a 7-point ball game. Bulldogs with the 67-60 lead, 3:31 left on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard.
Well, I mean, think about what that does for your momentum. Stops the clock, gets you 3 shots.
Helps a lot, gets you a breather. King's going to bring it up and across the timeline. She's going to work it down the left side, over to Holmes, back to Lamy. Lamy back over to Holmes. Holmes to Lamy. Lamy for three. No good. Rebound turned down by Blackman. Blackman to Moskrip. Moskrip's going to bring it up and across the timeline for the Warriors. She'll bring it over to the left side and a handoff. And they're going to get Moskrip on the screen.
Yeah, she was going with the dribble handoff. She's going to set the screen right after she hands it off. But Bignell got to her pretty much right when she was handing it off, and you can't move into the screen. You see that call more and more on the screener, I think, as of late.
And they get it into King. King's going to bring it across the timeline. Is he teeing him up or
Looks
warning
like he's
him?
just going to give Coach O'Brien or a warning. And you love to see Souvenir after that, keeping her team's head up. They were all right, giving everybody a clap. It's a great team player.
Well, that's a fun coach. Coach Orr, shots up and no good, and couldn't be saved. So it's going to be LC State basketball. But Coach Orr is a fantastic coach. So great to see him on the sidelines.
And
you got two, like you said, phenomenal coaches here, and you could see it in their players that'll play for them. Souvenir gets it down low to Johnson. Kick out to Blackman. Blackman gets it up from the side. It's up and good. So with 2:34 left in the ball game on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, Bulldogs lead 67-63. We'll be back in 1 minute.
When it comes to maintaining your car, you need quality parts and service. And you can count on Napa, Dillon's locally owned auto parts store. Dillon Napa has everything you need. Your car, truck, accessories, replacement parts, performance engine kits, heavy-duty parts for farm and ranch, and much more. Stop in and say hi to Brian and the crew at Napa of Dillon, your locally owned parts store. Napa of Dillon, your know-how. Stop by and see the know-how guys at Napa.
Well, I'm surprised he hasn't really even put the death line up on at all.
I know, I think he's
What can State Farm offer you? A lot more than just car insurance. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Ted Ori. State Farm offers economical protection for all the things you need insured. Your home, your apartment, your life, your health, your business, even your recreational vehicles. State Farm offers the finest service your premium dollar can buy. So whether at home, 10 seconds,
dangerous place for
State Farm is there. Stop by at 24 South Idaho or call us at 683-2472 to discuss your insurance needs in that good neighbor State Farm way.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome back to live basketball action here from the Stroud. And I think we both think it's a little too close for comfort. We'd like to see about a good 8-10-0 run by the Bulldogs. They do start with the basketball in a 4-point lead, but there's 2:34 left, so the intensity just got turned up a notch right here. Full court present, well, showing. We'll call it a showing, actually. As they pull back, they bring it up with Big Nell. Big Nell brings it over and hands off to King. King with the basketball. It's to Lamy. Lamy into the corner to Holmes. Holmes for three. In and out, no good. Gets wrapped up in there for a jump ball. So we couldn't find the rebound, but we were able to get the jump and keep the basketball.
So
good heads-up play.
Just another possession, get you 30 more seconds to think about what you want to do on the offensive end.
So with 2:14 left in the ball game on Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard, Bulldogs lead 67-63. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
March into spring with a bounce in your step, ready for warmer weather and green grass. And hey, think green on the inside too. At The Good Life, we have food-based supplements and green foods that provide nutrition for the energy to get out and enjoy life. Proper vitamins, minerals, and enzymes are the foundation of good health. Please eat plenty of real 10 seconds. Come into The Good Life for quality supplements to help support your healthy lifestyle. Check out our digest today's also. That's The Good Life, South Montana Street, right here in Dillon.
And welcome back to live basketball action. 2:14 left, 67-63. Bulldogs with the basketball. Inbound goes to Lamy, to Big Nell. Big Nell back to Lamy, a kick on Souvenir.
And this Warriors defense has clearly turned up the intensity. They're not even giving the Bulldogs a chance to dribble. They're just right up there in their face, not allowing any comfort.
Inbound goes into King. King with the basketball. A little more deliberate with the clock now. And it's good defense too, but Holmes splits it. Gets to Big Nell, to King, to Lamy. Lamy on the right side, gets picked up in the trap into the corner. As she gets to Holmes, to King. King with 5 on the shot clock, splits it, puts it up. No good. Rebound's going to be pulled down, and Turner's fouled after the rebound.
Looks like that one's going to be on Cooper, I believe. And the only shots that Western can get right now is the corner threes. Is the only opening they're getting against this defense.
Inbound goes into Moskrip. That one was kind of tough because she stopped and then pushed her.
And Moskrip continues to show her superiority and the experience. And see, she takes off in the press. Big Nell right behind her. She's just going to step right in front of her body and stop running. And there's nothing Big Nell can do.
That's the big 5th foul right there, a double bonus, which helps when you're behind. Moskrip puts that one up. Big Nell checks out. Anderson checks in.
And defensively, it's just so tough to sit Big Nell down in a close game because she makes so many plays all over the floor.
And Moskrip misses the second. Lamy with the rebound. 67-64. 1:35 left. The ball in the hands of Brianna King. King to Holmes. Holmes to Anderson. Anderson back around up top as she gets it over to Lamy. Lamy back to Anderson. Anderson to Lamy. Lamy goes baseline, puts it up, and looked like she could have been hacked, but didn't fall. And so LC State with the basketballs, they get the Souvenir. Souvenir pulls up on the three, back iron, no good. Rebound's knocked into the hands of Cooper. Cooper's able to pull it out of there. And King's going to bring it across the timeline, and they're going to get Moss Grip on the reach. And if I'm not mistaken, that'll just be a fourth, team foul 4.
Not into the double bonus yet.
So
one more foul.
I mean, you got to have that foul, I guess, in case you're behind, but I try to get the stop. And that's what superstars do. They go get a bucket for you. As she goes baseline, use her body for separation against a bigger player, goes up off the glass and good for 2.
Looks like there's no timeouts left, so the referees are going to say, hey, you can't go to your bench right now. They're going to try to get a sub in. Looks like Worcester's coming in. That'll be for defense for Tori Anderson. And they're going to have a full court presentation. Right now, the Warriors want to go down, try to get an easy look as quick as they can. Maybe a foul call. Just try to get something quickly. Stop the clock.
69-64, Souvenir with the basketball. She brings it across the timeline, working on Worcester. She's going to hand it off into the hands of Johnson. Johnson back to Souvenir into the corner. And the shot's up and good by Haley Turner. Sure is nice when you just have shooters everywhere.
Haley Turner, big players show up in big moments. Gets the open 3 from the left wing. Pull up money.
41.4 left. Bulldogs lead 69-67. They have the basketball. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Since the dawn of time, the land has been nurtured, first by the hands of nature, then by the hands of man. Agriculture is a way of life here. It always has been and always will be. Rocky Mountain Supply is here to help you in nurturing the land. Whether you need fertilizer, fence post, breakfast, lunch, or just a friendly cup of coffee, Rocky Mountain, 10 seconds. Shop in Dillon. Rocky Mountain Supply thanks everyone who's been nurturing the land and feeding the world. Rocky Mountain Supply, your one-stop shop in Dillon.
Yeah.
Turner might be the one getting it.
And welcome back to live basketball action. Just 41.4 left here on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. Bulldogs with the 69-67 lead. They have the basketballs. They look to inbound. The inbound goes into King. And they go back, so they're looking to get the stop. About 10, almost 11 seconds difference between the game clock and the shot clock. And at least the 2 here would sure help out a lot.
At least get to the line at best.
As they get it to Cooper. Cooper gets into the paint. Step around. Up off the glass and good for 2. And the senior does big things.
Just a nice little step-through layup against the big defender. And a clutch move from Britt Cooper getting the easy layup.
So with 17.2 left, Bulldogs lead 71-67. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
You know that Devers Excavation and Aquatics are proud supporters of the Dillon Beavers and Western Bulldogs. But did you know that they also support many youth and community programs? You know that Devers specializes in ponds, stream restoration, and waterfalls. But did you know that they are experts in irrigation products, foundations, septic utilities, roads, and all? 10 seconds. Call Devers Excavation and Aquatics for all your excavating work and get to know Southwest Montana's professional excavating company. 683-3560.
And welcome back to live basketball action as LC State takes a timeout right away. So they're going to set up their offense. We'll keep it here. Been a great basketball game, really, kind of back and forth. For the most part, LC State ran out to that first quarter lead. But since we turned the tide, we've held the reins fairly tight. But with just a 4-point game here, I think you want to set up. You probably want to hit that 3 and then foul.
Yeah, I think you either instantly try to go down low to Blackman or a good free throw shooter in Turner, or like you said, pull that 3 as quick as you can. Either way, you need a 1 or 2 pass, try to get to the shot.
Well, you said it earlier, and they've still continued to have success with that corner 3. So I think you want to get that corner 3 if you can, If not, hopefully maybe get an end one, get it down low. You got height, so an end one still is a possibility down there.
Make sure you rebound on the offensive boards, too.
And the inbound took a while to get in as they get it into Johnson. Johnson's going to go baseline. She pulls it up, gets it knocked around. It gets wrapped up in a jump ball, which I think is LC State.
I believe you're correct there. It's going to be Lewis Clark State basketball.
So 8.5 left on the Intermountain Irrigation scoreboard. 71-67. They'll get Worcester out and get Anderson in, really to put her in front of the ball as far as the inbound. And the inbound goes into the corner. Souvenir with the three. It's no good. Rebound's going to be pulled down. Back for Moskip three. A piece of it was gotten. And then how fitting is it that Cooper comes up with the basketball. Gritty performance on the floor. And the Lady Bulldogs are moving on to Monday to play for the conference championship in the tournament. And the Bulldogs win here 71-67. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the Papa T's post-game show. Bulldogs win 71-67. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
What does a scholarship mean to Montana Western students? It means getting an education without being burdened with debt. It means being thankful for the generosity of others in order to follow your dreams. It means paying it forward one day when you have the capacity to make a difference. Thank you for supporting scholarships, programs, and students at Montana Western. If you'd like to learn more about supporting Montana Western, contact Roxanne Engelman at 406-683-7305.
Sure is the yearly return of the Canada Goose and the Gopher. The changing seasons signal the beginning of a spring tire sale at Jerry Westman's Les Schwab Tire Center. It's time to think green grass, young calves, and a heck of a good deal on select tires for just about anything you'd be driving this spring. So if you think you might need new tires, stop in. Bob and the crew will come running. Jerry Westman's Les Schwab Tire Center is your tire center. They'll get you travel ready for the summer. Give them a call today, 683-8884.
Well, they switched it over from 32% to 54%.
Beaverhead Livestock Auction is a proud sponsor of all sports in southwest Montana. They take pride in being loyal supporters of kids of all ages. They're behind the Beavers, the Falcons, the Bears, the Panthers, and the Bulldogs. Give Beaverhead Livestock Auction a call today and have them help you market your cattle. Beaverhead Livestock Auction, just 5 miles south of Dillon. Call 683-2002.